Hi, I'm Kevin Claridge. I'm Mote Marine Laboratory's Vice President of Sponsored Research and Coastal Policy Programs. Mote has 6 campuses across South Florida. We have quite a diverse research portfolio of everything from sharks and rays, but also harmful algal bloom research, observing, and mitigation. Red tide is a harmful algal bloom. Algal blooms occur in freshwater and marine ecosystems. This one happens to be in marine and also has a toxin associated with it. When a bloom occurs, these are large patches that may appear as a red or brownish coloration of water. It can cause an ecological and an economic impact for the state of Florida. Ecologically, the fish kills or the impacts to dolphins, manatees, or turtles. To the human impacts can also cause a respiratory irritation, a cough, often eye irritation for humans along the beach. Red tide continues to come. It's a naturally occurring process. So one of the tools that we're developing, working in partnership with the state, is the Florida Red Tide Mitigation and Technology Development Initiative. That was signed into law in 2019 by Governor DeSantis. It's, in short, developing tools and technologies for mitigating the impacts of red tide, both ecologically and economically.
The testing for red tide mitigation projects goes through a tiered process. The first tier is in the lab and beaker-sized experiments. If that's successful with removing the red tide cells and toxins, that project can move to this facility to use the 5-foot mesocosms to look at environmental factors and impacts to important marine species. This is one of our control tanks, meaning that there is a red tide bloom within the tank, about 1 million cells per liter, but we have not added a product to treat the red tide cells. So this tank looks green due to the microalgae, the Cornea brevis cells in the tank, compared to the other tanks, which are blue, meaning that the treatment is working.
If it continues down that tiered path and you have success with that, minimal impacts to the ecosystem, then we move to the final tier where we start to begin testing out in nearshore waters, where then you begin to even enter almost a tier 4 of commercialization of these items. We're fortunate this year not to have a red tide, but the history record shows it will return. We're observing, we're watching where it's at, we'll know when it's coming in, and under the Red Tide Initiative, be prepared to provide those mitigation tools and technologies when it does arrive.